Where's your mentality? How do you see the team today going into this game?
Yeah, mentality is the same as last one. It's win or go home for us. So yeah, from now on it's all about winning, and there's some things that we can learn from game one that we played at their place. There's definitely things that we did well in the second game, and we kind of want to put the two together and have a complete performance there.
What do you feel like you got to keep from that fluidity that you guys had in the final third, the amount of numbers in the box, to get a good result there in Minnesota?
Yeah, it's all being on the same page, when we get into the final third, maybe a little bit simplifying things and then putting ball in the box like we did at home, and having numbers there so, the ball can rebound or it can bounce to one of us in the box and then taking our chances, So I don't think it was anything special other than, mentality, all being on the same page and that willingness to sacrifice and just to make runs in the box.
Your coach is on record talking about transition, a lot of goals in this soccer itself, but how important is a transition play, defending and then turning that into an offensive opportunity?
Yeah, we wanna go forward as soon as we win the ball and look for the, first pass, the killer pass. It's not always on, and then it becomes a decision of on the guy on the ball. Do we keep the ball or do we try and risk the pass? And I think especially in the second game we had that balance for the majority of the game right. On the other side, we have to be aware of their transition, and when we lose the ball, getting numbers back and preventing types of goals that we've given up in the last game.
Without getting too into your strategy, what is the key in getting numbers in the box? Right, you said that's critical. What's that fulcrum like and that timing like?
I think it's getting numbers in the box is to each individual. Will you sacrifice and run extra 10, 15, 20 yards to get there? But if we have numbers in the box, also it has to be the right time, and a guy on the ball in the wide area has to have enough time to be able to put the ball in the box. Because if we just stand with 4 or 5 guys in the box and the guy on the ball cannot cross or look for anybody in the box, then it's pointless. So that's what I mean when I say we have to be on the same page, and the guy on the ball and the guys going in the box have to kind of predict and read the situation of what could happen, and if we do those things, then we can score goals like the last game.
This is the 5th time that you have been playing Minnesota this year. What does that sort of familiarity do to change the way a game plays out?
Yeah, I think if anything, it makes it harder because you've played them so many times, and I feel like exactly what they want to do. They know exactly what we want to do. The personnel, the players individually. So it's a little bit harder, and playing them back to back for the 3rd time in like 2 weeks. It might be a game about one chance, and we got to be ready. We got to be prepared in front of the goal when the chance comes. Like the first game we played there. We got to score. And I think once we score a goal, the games become a little bit different than when it is 0-0.
Last couple guys. When Obed scored his goal, he went and he was celebrating with the Sounders staff. People are wondering who is the Sounders staff and what's his role.
Yeah, it's it's our guys who provide amazing food every day for us, and they're here even when we have a day off. They come in and they do a lot of stuff that goes unnoticed, right? But they're a big part of this group, and we spend a lot of time with them every day. Actually, maybe sometimes more than we do with coaches. That's who it was, and usually it's both of them. Usually. Chef is there as well, David, but I don't know where he went this game. He wasn't there. He's probably already preparing something for us in the locker room. So yeah.
Speaking of unnoticed, Christian Roldan has always been thought of as this underrated player. He gets a call for the, he gets a designation for the best 11 in MLS. What have you seen from him this year? In him being a full 6 this year rather than having to move positions. How important has that been for him to get this accolade?
Yeah, I think he was terrific even last season. But we know how this works, and for these accolades, for you to be to be in there. We won the Leagues Cup, and I think that was a big part of it. And we've played multiple competitions this year. I think we played 4 different ones, and he hasn't missed a game. He's been there every game, and he grinds and does a lot of the dirty work on the field. And yeah, I'm glad that finally he got acknowledged for it.
Christian,
One more for Albert, guys.
Sorry. Related to one of your teammates, what is your favorite thing about playing with Obed and his skill set, and what does he bring to the team?
Yeah, I mean him and Christian have built a partnership now that I feel like they can play with each other kind of with their eyes closed, and they both have something different. And Oben's been really good at also providing an extra number in the attack. He has the legs for it to go up and down and to attack and defend. So he kind of does everything in the middle. And yeah, he's been another player that had an outstanding season. So yeah, I mean that's what we want, right? You want to play with those kind of guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.